It was a good revenge from last year in Bangkok, I suppose.
Yeah, it was tough lose last year in Bangkok. Less painful because I came after winning the U.S. Open, but probably was the more unbelievable lose in my career against him last year in Wimbledon, because I never had as many chances as I had at that match, and I lost, and it was a little bit in my mind today in the break points. That's the truth. And for the rest, sure, I'm happy to be in the second round. I had a comfortable victory with 2 sets. I didn't play my best match, but it's unbelievable the conditions, how can change from Tokyo to here. The ball is completely different, so you cannot. That's something that must change because it's too dangerous for the shoulders, and for us it's a big change. Tournaments straight must be the same ball. That's my feeling, and here the ball are completely different than Tokyo. But I'm very happy and to be in the second round. Tomorrow we'll have a difficult match, and hopefully, if I am able to win tomorrow, I will be more adapted.
Rafa, can you tell us a bit more about the differences between the balls? What sort of how it affects the way you have to adjust, and how it makes you have to play differently?
Well, first thing is the ball changed unbelievable during day or during night. I practice it every day during day, and during night the conditions are so different. No? But if we compare the Tokyo ball with this one, Tokyo was much bigger, slower. This ball is very fast, goes small, and doesn't stay on the racket. The ball fly a lot and is tough. But I have to play well with this ball, and the problem is not the ball. The problem is how the difference between two balls. And I don't know how to say, but if you compare another sport, is difficult, no, maybe. But, maybe golf, you cannot change the ball in every tournament. If you give the players a different ball in every tournament, so they're going to be upset, and that's what happened. What's happening here sometimes, that's something that, in my opinion, can change and not very difficult to change. But especially this time, the change was really radical.
Andy was saying the same thing yesterday. Have you two been having a chat? And what do you want to see done? He wants the balls standardised, he said.
For me, it's not necessary in a standard ball, but during a season, when you have straight tournaments, for example, you start the clay season, have the same ball for all the clay court season. You start the American hard season, so play the same ball during all tournaments. Indian Wells and Miami, same ball. That happens. There is the same ball in both tournaments, so that's positive. But here you play in, for example, in Bangkok, one ball. You play in Tokyo, another ball. You play here, another ball. So that's something that can change. It's not to put in a standard ball for all the year. I understand we can have different balls on tour, but you cannot change the ball every week. That's too much, in my opinion, and it's dangerous for the injuries.
The same was the case this year, wasn't it? On the clay, Rafa, they changed going into Roland Garros, having in Madrid and Rome changed themselves to get in line with Roland Garros.
For me, I understand. That is not a very important change, because you have 1 week to prepare Roland Garros. That's the truth. And in the previous tournaments before Roland Garros, I think it was Nice and World Cup in Düsseldorf, was the same ball. So that's positive. But what cannot happen is have one ball in Rome, one ball in Madrid, one ball in Barcelona. Doesn't work because these are straight weeks. You have a week to adapt to the ball. In my opinion, is not a problem. But the problem is, for example, when you arrive to the final, for example, let's say the ball is different between Madrid and Rome. You arrive to the final in Madrid, and in one day you have to play with completely different ball in Rome.
You know why it is, though, don't you? Because of the commercial deals that each tournament can make for itself. So do you think that this is a problem that is an indication of everything that you're talking about as players?
I am very happy to win less money and be more health.
Rafa, as we just heard, Andy has got similar feelings about this as you've just been explaining. What about the other players? Is there a strong feeling amongst many of the players about the same thing?
I talked with Gilles Simon this afternoon, and he believed exactly the same. Yeah, a lot of players believe that, but this is something that is well, it doesn't make. We don't have to make a big history of that. Just try to change, and that's it.
Rafa, can I ask you about something in your book? When you talked about Novak Djokovic, you said 3 or 4 years ago you were asked, there's you and there's Federer, who will be the next player who might challenge you? And you said straight away, Djokovic. What was it that you saw in Djokovic then that made you think he would be the player to challenge you and Roger?
Well, later was Andy Murray, so I said that 4 years ago because it's when Djokovic started to play really well. And for me, the level, what he shows to everybody in Australia 2007 was really, really high. So I thought that in 2007 he will be the number one. 2007, no, 2008 was? 2008. I thought that, but after I think I had a fantastic season. But he's able to do very difficult things very easy. So he can play inside the court. He can, the most difficult thing on tennis is play inside the court and change the direction of the ball. And he was able to do it really well and very easy.